Hey, how you guys and gals doing? This is Neil from iPaintGirls.com, and I thought I'd do something a little different. So what I'm going to do in this tutorial is I'm going to show how to do like a mock-up cover art. Now this isn't my cover art, and I'm going to show like what I think would make this cover art a lot better. So I'm on the XNA game forums, because I've been working on my game, and hey, it's coming along. I'm going to be putting a video soon for that. It's got multiplayer now, so that's awesome. You can play with 2 players and stuff for my alien shooter now called 37 Days to Die. It's come a long way, and it's really getting really close to being done. Anyway, so not to ramble on, I want to go ahead and get started in this tutorial. So I'm on the XNA game forums, and there's this thread about, can't box art be better for indie games? And it's true, it can be. And I wanted to show an example. This is actually not a bad cover choice design. I think it's mediocre, but I think it could be so much better. And so what I want to do in this tutorial is to show like how to do like a mock-up cover design, to come up with ideas and make it better. So one thing I do like definitely is how he did this font here, this Dsynomia. Now obviously if I were going to do this, I would ask him for the font and then just redraw it myself. I could actually just redraw it myself anyway, but there's actually an easy way to get this even though it's not on its own layer. So one way to do it is I can check anti-alias and uncheck contiguous and just put in the white there since it's different from everything else around it in this particular case. Then go to edit, copy and paste. But sometimes it's a little more difficult than that if you want to try to grab something off an image like that. Now another way to do that, notice that because anti-alias it wasn't all choppy. Now what if I had not had anti-alias on, and I make sure I'm on the right layer here, and I grab it and then I copy and paste it. Sometimes you can actually save this, but you can save it from not being like that. And so what you can do then from this point is you can go to I guess we'll do this selection wise. We'll reselect it again, go to select, modify edge, put like 3 here. Any more than that will probably be too much for smoothing. Mess around with this here, how much whether it's down or up. You notice it'll make a difference, so I'm going to go down here to make it smooth as it can be. So find the middle ground that will make it as smooth as possible, and then click OK. And then you go to select and inverse and hit delete. It'll delete everything else. Now you notice it's all nice and smooth now. Not quite as smooth as the original, but it is pretty smooth, and it actually changed the font a little bit here and here, and I think it actually kind of looks cool. But anyways, that's another way to do it. Just a little trick you can try out here and there. Right, so now that I got the Dsynomia the way I like it, I want to kind of go with a modified version of this and start just kind of free painting on it, because this is just a mock-up. So let's see. And what I would probably do for the planet, just because sometimes it's really hard to I'm using a textured brush here that's standard with Photoshop, because it's sometimes hard to, what am I trying to say, paint a planet by hand. Like, it's really time consuming. You can use textures and stuff, so there's some neat Photoshop tricks you can use to get started, and then you can start freehand painting over that, because you don't want it to look just like a Photoshop trick, because that usually doesn't look that good. What I would recommend doing probably is to use something like ZBrush or whatever, because ZBrush, it just is a quick way to add some color, some texture, and you could probably do it very quickly. A planet should not be that difficult. Right, so something I just, like I said, I'm doing a mock-up for this, so right now it's just a matter, of just quickly trying to get some paint and stuff in here. I'm not really worried about the hands and all that right now. I would probably use actual space background, either from a 3D program to get a really cool space background, or paint it by hand, or maybe even kind of get some NASA photos of space background and blend them together in such a way using certain filters that it's going to be hard for them to tell it was their photo or whatever. And that could work too. Or just get some some cool galaxy brushes you can get for free or even buy them. And that was my phone. My son just texted me. Okay, cool. So right, let's go ahead and continue on with this. What I'm thinking will really push this is a lot more contrast. So I'm thinking he should use a really good backlighting here, and so I would really focus on that. And I would actually reduce the size of this whole thing, even though he said he wanted to go with something different besides just because it's a top. I guess it's a top-down shooter. So even though he said he wanted to go with something a little different than the typical top-down shooter thing, I'm actually use a really hard brush here for a second, my ink brush, just to kind of pull in some of this color in the background. Well, anyway, so he wanted something different, didn't want the typical guy. I still think the guy should be in there. You know, it should really, I think the box art should sell what the game is about, and this box art just doesn't really sell what it's about. I didn't know what it was about until I read that, hey, it's a top-down shooter. For all I knew, it was like, my first impression actually was it's probably some type of tactics game, or, you know, some type of what are those, RTS or something like that. So I really had a very different idea of what it actually was. I'd probably put some purple down here just for some contrast with all the blue up there. So I'd have like a more bluer galaxy up in that area, not that much white, but more bluer galaxy up in that area, and then more of a pinkish, orange, a little bit of yellow galaxy down in this area. And then I would have more black to really bring out the contrast here, and put some, you know, stars and everything within there. So this is just the concept colors. I need to be able to see. You want to start this way when you're doing concept art, you know, for a cover art design or something, is try starting. That's way too much bright, so I'm going to just keep it small. Try just getting a feel for the colors and stuff at a thumbnail size, so keep it really tiny, maybe even work even smaller. And this is just for you can see whether or not it's going to work. And I want to really reduce the size. This side here is going to kind of blend out into that blue. But I really want to reduce the size of the glow, the back glow on the planet. Of course, this isn't the way I'd actually paint it with Photoshop. I would actually, on one layer, I would do, and in fact, maybe I should just go ahead and do that really quick just because it's easy. Want to get pretty much around planet. So you hold down the shift key while you're dragging out this, what is this tool called again? Yeah, the marquee. So as you're dragging out the elliptical marquee, first hold down shift and then left click your mouse and drag it out. That's how you get a perfect circle. And so something like that. And this, what this is allowing me to do really quick is on a separate layer, I'm going to really put in this color for the planet, and one side of it's going to be mostly dark like that, just so we can get that spherical shape to it, even though it might not be totally correct because it's mostly backlit. There's still going to be some front lighting too. So, and then, you know, a typical painting trick, you know, you want to add a little bit of those colors in there, and then, you know, just kind of mute them out a bit. But you want some of that color to show on the planet, and especially like little blue specular highlights will be neat. And then you can actually come in and then, you know, just really quickly to show it's a planet, maybe add, you know, some indents and highlight and textures and stuff. And I would actually import a texture as well. And I'm just adding some quick little shapes here and there just to show, yeah, it's a planet, there's texture in there. And I'm doing this as fast as I can too, because, you know, I'm trying to do this for you guys to can just get an idea. And then now what I would do is I would take this light blue color and take a soft brush and just kind of run around the back here like so. And just because this is a fast way to do it, you can use like a, you know, soft round marquee or whatever and get perfect. But, you know, and maybe I should do that. I don't know. It really doesn't matter, I don't think. But well, here's one quick way to do it. Might as well just show some tricks, I guess. Bring back this circle on this layer back here, but make a new layer. I'm going to fill that in with that color. And then I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And I want to really push this Gaussian Blur out. So make one about like that. And then I'm going to take that, duplicate it. I want to make it just a little bit bigger. And you can get a nice glow like that. And then what I will do is flatten all this down to that layer back there. or actually maybe I shouldn't yet. If I want to just do some quick, I got some brushes I think some Galaxy brushes I can use for just quick mock-up stuff, and it's kind of cool looking. Let's see here. I'm positive I have Galaxy brushes. Maybe I put them with stars over here somewhere. Light beams. Actually, the light beam will be cool. I need to remember to do that. Okay, so here we go. Some stars, space stuff. I think this is it here. And, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take this kind of bluish color. I'm going to take a blue color over here first and just kind of put that in there. And then take this purple and kind of put it, maybe I should use something like that, just to add some spacey stuff there. Let's turn this down a bit. Now, damn. Edit, step forward. I don't have a button for that. Let's go ahead and maybe add a little bit. You don't want to really repeat anything, so like I don't want the, let's see, I think I have another one. There we go. And not that color though, maybe the pink, maybe the kind of orange, and maybe kind of a blue down here as well. No, it's too much blue. Let's see, I'm just trying to figure out what might work for this. I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new layer for this, put it on, oops, I'm going to kind of put it on, 1, 2, there we go. I'm going to take it now and I can move and adjust this just a bit. And then get my eraser tool and just kind of get rid of something like that. So that's a decent quick mock-up for the background, and I'm running out of time here. You maybe throw a galaxy in there somewhere. And then let's see, I think I have, if you want to throw another galaxy in there somewhere, maybe a really, really light blue one, just to add some texture to that. Nah. Okay, let's see, I think I got some stars now. And you want to add cool star clusters. With this one down here, I'll probably do like a yellow star cluster, and then a different star cluster with like white over that. And then you can even add, for different star cluster, add black, and it's just to add different texture in there. That might be too much texture, so I don't know. Maybe just grab some of this color, something like that, to kind of show those stars in the background. You can go and erase some of that too, like do it on its own layer and choose to erase some of it. That might work. Okay, so I'm just thinking something like that. That'll work. Just a little bit of stars, not too much. Maybe some blue ones down here. And I would actually go back over that. I don't like it at all, so I would go and add more texture. It's all ugly. So anyway, I'd go back and fix that, because I would have done it on its own layer, but I don't feel like, well, actually I am on my own layer, so I can fix that. There we go. Just kind of erase some of it. Right, so now it's starting to look cool. You got kind of this spacey background and everything, and got some stars and whatnot going on, and I'm just like out of time. And so what I would do now, just to sum up then, is I would add in more texture for the planet, maybe even go and do a ZBrush planet really quickly, and maybe use like my brush on color dodge mode. You can see the settings up here. Go and pick one of my light beams, and I'd pick like one of these really interesting ones, and then obviously I have to turn it way down because it's huge. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because I'm going to do it on this layer. Actually, I'm going to probably, I'll try it in this layer, maybe even put all the layers together. And then just kind of, it's not doing nothing, so I need to put all these layers together. Let's see. To really add that, then I could maybe even try it on regular just for a moment. just to see with like a little bit of yellow or a little bit of white. No, it has to be white. This is probably overboard, but it is kind of cool looking. So that backlighting will be really cool, especially when these tentacles come over. So let me go ahead and do this really quick, and then I'll unpause. Right, so I added a texture to the planet and set it to spherize with the selection tool, and so that was really quick. And then I added a quick texture all the way to the background too. You can see the two textures here on overlay. And now I'm going to do some quick painting. Right, so I did this quick sketch up. I didn't really like it, so I'm going to do something else. I like the anger in his face, so it adds emotion to the piece. Alright, thank you for watching. Here are my final thoughts on it. And you can see, or not my final thoughts, my final mock-up of the thing. I think this shows more what the game's about, adds more dynamicness to it, and some more energy to it, and I think makes you want to buy the game more. Thank you for watching.